Hello, high school students. I wanted to spend some time this afternoon briefly walking through your new virtual schedule and explaining some of the changes from the standard schedule. So the first thing and the most obvious thing is that the day is now going to begin at 8:30 a.m. rather than 7:45. Secondly, you'll notice that there's a 10-minute passing period separating each class. So second period begins at 9:30, whereas first period ends at 9:20. So you have 10 minutes to get from one class to the next, one Zoom call to the other. So the schedule proceeds pretty conventionally until fourth hour. At fifth hour, things get a little bit mixed up. And the reason for this is that in your standard schedule, lunch didn't happen until seventh hour, right? It's pretty late in the day from 1:15 to 2:05. If we kept lunch at during seventh hour, you would have to wait until 2 p.m. to have to eat. And so we decided to bump this up in the schedule. What this meant was that your seventh period became your fifth period in virtual learning, and your fifth period here became your sixth, and your sixth became your seventh. So it sounds kind of complicated. It's really very simple. The important thing is that you know when each class is going to begin. So let me walk you through this here. Your first hour class, let's suppose you begin with Mr. Van Wheely at 8:30 a.m. Then you go to Miss Cookagee, Miss Rigby, and finally Miss Holly for fourth hour from 11:30 until 12:20. Your fifth period, or what was your fifth period during your standard schedule, is now what we'll call your sixth period. It will run from 1 to 1:50. And what was your sixth period in your standard schedule, we now call your seventh period in virtual learning. So it's going to begin at 2 p.m. You'll notice here that between this geometry class and biology, there's a 40-minute gap. This is your lunch. So this is the non-scheduled class. So again, your fifth period just becomes your sixth, and your sixth becomes your seventh. Your eighth hour remains basically the same. You can refer to this little matrix here to help you understand this. Again, it looks a little bit complicated, and I think there'll be some hiccups day one, but we'll get the hang of this over time. So feel free to refer to this as the year progresses. I also want to spend a little bit of time reviewing how each class is going to happen during a given school day. So one of our priorities for this year was to ensure that no student was spending the entire day on Zoom, just staring at a computer from 8:30 a.m. until 3:50 p.m. So your teachers got together and decided to divide their schedules up and take certain days off. So for instance, English will happen with everybody on Monday and Thursday, but Miss Cookagee will take half her students on Tuesday and half her students on Wednesday and teach them separately, which means if you were one of her students, you'd have either Tuesday or Wednesday off. In science, class won't happen on Wednesdays. We'll have Wednesdays off away from Zoom for independent work. In math and languages, classes are always going to run for 35 minutes, with 15 minutes reserved for homework time, kind of guided practice at the end of each session to limit the amount of time that you have to do homework at the end of the school day. I also want to talk briefly about electives here. So all of your electives, moral philosophy, composition, health, government, oceanography, physiology, personal fitness, strings, all of these electives are going to happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They're going to last for 50 minutes from 3 p.m. to 3:50 p.m. Some of you actually have study hall. This is another one of our electives, either with Dr. Roth or Mr. Guak. So there's going to be a Google Classroom for these, for study hall. You're going to be invited to them, and you'll meet with Dr. Roth and Mr. Guak, at least during the first week. Over time, though, they're going to give you more flexibility and even make it possible for you to perhaps attend personal fitness if you wanted to on a Tuesday and Thursday instead. Or even to attend an art class if that was something that you were interested in. Really, it will be more your time, and you'll use it as at your discretion. They will be available for tutoring, and they'll be able to refer you to other teachers for tutoring. But we're not going to hold class every single Tuesday and Thursday for study hall. We're going to acknowledge it as kind of time to work individually. But you will meet on Zoom for that first week at least. The other thing I want to note is that personal fitness, studio art, and some other classes are also going to be meeting on Mondays and Wednesdays. Now, these aren't mandatory for you to attend. Basically, if you were bored on a Monday and Wednesday and you wanted to spend some time running around outside with Mr. Evans, kind of giving you some direction, or perhaps you wanted to attend an art class with Miss Adams on a Monday or Wednesday, those will still be running, so they'll be available to you. But the mandatory sessions are happening only on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's a brief overview of your schedule. Your teachers will be reviewing this with you as well during open house. So if there's any confusion now, make sure you prepare questions for them and they'll be able to help you out. All right, I'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks.